Okay, but when you build something and that something becomes this thing, that you're doing and that you are enjoying with other people, and other people are starting to get your passions too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you get it. You get like it's like Elena's joining this, or the fitness group is growing, people joining the fit. It's like these people are getting this passion that I have. And then your words yesterday. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just started throwing all these. I was like I was almost about to tell you, like, shut up. Nah, but
I was seeing how much I could push you just to see if I could get just a little droplet.
you got one, but it didn't fall. It didn't fall. Like
I
I
just stayed in the little
it's
creasy.
in the corner. In the corner. I had to, you know how they right? I was fanning the heck out of my eyes, man, because I just I just became overwhelmed. Because Larissa and Shirley, they just joined. They're gonna be on tonight. And they just joined, so I was already thinking in my head, like, this is crazy. And then on top of that, and then you're a member already of another group. So it was just like, dang, like members are joining other groups within the stuff, the private groups, because the private groups are more intimate. That's how I see it. Like the public group is cool, but when someone joins the private group, that demands me to post more content about that.
Right.
So you're demanding me now, like it's a passion, so it's not even a burden. But now I'll be able to go deeper into even my own poetic passion, because right now it's all fitness, right? So I'm like pushing out a bunch of fitness, but now it's every week poetry. Like I can look forward to that, and of
Hmm.
course when you have days where you can't make it, that's fine. But just looking forward to that. Like poetry is a different level. Fitness is there, but from poet to poet,
Yeah.
it's different.
It's very different. And I think like too, it's the public groups are good for like feeling welcome, feeling like people understand you, feeling like there are other people there,
Hmm.
and like we can hold each other accountable. But
Yeah.
I feel like the private groups kind of force it it kind of forces us to actually be accountability partners at this point. Like I'm keeping you accountable and you're
Come on.
keeping me accountable.
Come on.
So
Hmm. I'm sharing my
it,
screen, by the
it's
way,
it's
but
that's why, yeah.
yeah, I'm
But
sorry.
that's why I feel like it's more intimate,
Exactly. Exactly.
because it's like it's now not just, oh well, we can hold each other accountable. It's no, we holding each other accountable now, and you're going to be on top of me just as much as I'm going to be on top of you to be on top of me, so you can be on top of your game, so I'm on top of my game.
And we have to, because and it started this way with me and Giselle. That's why what you're doing right now is so powerful. The first person that joins the group is always the person that kind of carries it, and it becomes this, like, so with you being in here now, we're gonna probably see a lot more people showing up every other night, because again, it starts with that one person, just like Giselle. It was me and her for like a few months actually, and we just would just grind it out. She would pop up. We would have really deep discussions, and then slowly but surely, as you see now, she literally kind of like, Shirley was the first one, but then she left. She left because of like financial issues, of course. But then Giselle came in, and then that just kind of, she started popping up on my stuff, on my content. At first, people were just like, "Man, what's going on with you? What's going on with you and Giselle?" I was like, "Look, she's the only one in the group." Like I was like, I can't. No one else is joining, so I kind of had to slowly build it, and they would see her face a lot. She kind of started to get recognition in my brand. Some guys would hit me up about it, so it's still guys trying to holler at her. But like, yeah, hey, they love them some Giselle, but.
Who doesn't love Giselle? Come on now.
Hey,
She's dope.
she's dope. She's dope. I mean, she get on my nerve, but she dope. She dope. They're like she get on my
I'm sure
nerve,
you
man.
get on hers just as much, okay?
Hey, whatever. Look. She gonna love that, man. Look. I'm gonna edit that out, but but no, like you're right. You're right. I mean, again, she's just, you know, again, a pivotal point, a pivotal part to the group, but then also you, because if I'm being honest, the person who stayed the person who's been in there the second longest is you. You remember that, right? It was you and Giselle for a minute. You remember that? Do you remember when it was
Yeah.
just you and Giselle? Like it was just you and
And then,
Giselle.
and then what? Art came in
And then
after that?
Art, and then Art came in. And then Art came in. And then Jamil came behind Art. There was other people too that was in there at first, but they left.
Yeah.
Yep. But then other people started coming in. And then it was after Art, who was it? Oh, Meme.
Mm-hmm.
Meme came, but she doesn't have a Facebook, so she's not in the group. But then after Meme, then again Larissa and Shirley. Shirley came back, so she was like, "Man, what is this?" And she was like, "I need to get back in this." Her husband told her to come. Her
I've had
husband.
a few people hit me up asking um like how do I stay accountable and stuff like that, and or like they'll see
Uh-huh.
me post about the group and they're like, that's so cool, like how do I get in? And I'll tell them like, hit this dude up, like hit him up, and he'll
Oh,
talk to you, he'll hold you accountable, he'll be a good mentor for you. So
man.
I don't know if you're getting any DMs, but I'm putting it out there.
You know what? I have been getting DMs, so I would not be surprised if someone that you've mentioned or referenced me to hit me up.
Mm-hmm.
But again, when they're ready, I'm all about, like, I will not hover. I'm not about that. I'm about branding, and branding is making your name known, and people come to you.
Yeah.
Like you can, but I'll talk to you in the DMs. I'll mention this, and I'll mention my free group. I'll mention how I want to bring you on as a guest. But whether or not you join, it's not about the money to me. I need money because I need to eat and stuff, but it's not about that.
Right.
It's about this camaraderie, this friendship that we've built. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what I love. You know what I'm saying? And no amount of dollar could buy this. Yeah. So
Right.
that's how I feel. Like I fight for that aspect of the group, and again, to know that you see that same passion, you see that same growth, it really just does wonders for me. And again, I don't want to talk on too long because I start getting that knot. I get that knot right down. Like I'm like, nah, I'm not about to.
Get choked up on your words.
I'm not about to do it. Look, and we going live? Nah, I'm not about to do it.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. Let me close my door.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. Okay. Wow, it's actually on there. Okay. Okay, this is perfect. Let's see. So we're here. Okay, perfect. So if this works out the way I want it to, so you can see my phone, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. Because what's going to happen is people are going to jump in and they're going to be commenting, and I want to make sure you can see the comments too.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, because I want you to talk to them, and because they may want to jump in, and so in a sense, as you see now, the calls are starting to expand. It's like, now again, there may be certain moments where we have 6 people on a call and we may not be able to respond to all the comments. But if it's like this sometimes, and someone else wants to jump in and they're like, "Hey, can I jump in there?" I'll send them the link on IG, and then from there they'll just hop right in. So you see what I'm saying? Like I'm literally
Yeah.
putting. Do you get what I'm going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dope, dope, dope. All right, so because I wanted to make sure that we still had that level of intimacy in the sense of like as a group, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want to make sure people can kind of experience it live.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that idea?
I actually like that. I actually like that because some people may be scared to like join the group, but like hopping on live and like interacting with us on live might help them open up a little bit or feel a little bit more comfortable to, show up and show out.
Ex- my point exact. I'm sorry. I'm trying to change this to poetry, but my point exactly. Like some people just need to kind of see it in order to actually realize that, hey, this is going down, and this is what we're about. And a lot of times you can get a lot of followers and exposure from going live.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some of the closest people I've met have been from a live.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I really want to just make sure I tap into every element of my brand and then expand in any way possible, yet still let it be organic.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the live now. Let's just talk poetry. Put this in here. All right, cool. So we're in here. So you can see the live right now. and you can see me.
Yeah.
This is super dope. This is super dope. I was literally wondering how I could do this, but okay, this is dope. So again, you still have priority though. So we're just gonna have this running. We may glance every now and then or start talking to people if they have questions about you describing your poetry and things of that nature. But right now, I just want us to kind of just again we go straight into it. Let's just dive into sharing our poetry. But I do want to know before we dive in, Elena, what hasn't have you been writing? And if so, what has been inspiring you to write poetry?
I have been writing.
Okay.
Not a lot, but I have been getting more inspiration to lately.
Yeah.
What has inspired me lately? I guess it's just I'm recognizing and I'm recognizing myself and like who I am, what triggers me,
Mm,
why I'm triggered, um, what makes me feel good,
yeah.
why it makes me feel good. Like I'm starting to just realize all of these little things
Mm-hmm.
inside myself. And it's like, dang, I'm really opening up lately. And I think that is what's helped me be able to write because I have, like I told you before, I've been having like a lot of writer's block
Yeah.
for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
back when we did the last poetry night, like I wrote a little bit, but even after that, I stopped writing like because it was just so hard for me to try to think of something.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
But
Wow.
but lately, like yeah, I've been writing a good amount,
Let's go. So how many a day would you say?
at least like one a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. So what broke the writer's block? Like what made you kind of say, okay, this has to come out?
Um, my friend got me a new book,
Okay. Hey, that's always a
so
inspiration.
that was really nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, like I'll just get little thoughts in my head, and I'm like, I need to write that down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like the other night, I think I was, there was a time where you said an artist usually gets most creative between like the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. or whatever. And that was no joke because I was laying in bed at like 2:30 in the morning
Come
one,
on.
I think like Friday.
Giselle, did you hear it? 2:30 in the morning. Did you hear? She up at 2:30.
Hey, now, okay, it's a weekend. I can get away with weekends. But yeah, I was laying in bed like 2:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I like was sitting there and just staring at the wall for a minute. I was like, I need my book. And so I went and I grabbed my book and was like, I need a pencil. And so I went and grabbed a pencil and I just started writing. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can go to sleep now.
Let's go. And again, for everyone that's on live right now, we're talking about poetry. I'm here with Elena. They can't see you, Elena, but they can hear you, so they can definitely hear you. And again, I'll be posting this on YouTube too, for everybody to review. But um, again, the question is, what inspired you to write? What broke your writer's block? Why have you been pouring out? And you just mentioned something that, again, it just touched my soul, and that is, in a sense, you just said that you could not rest until you got it out.
Yes.
That is that not poetry? Like, is that not a poet?
Right.
Like,
Like I was literally laying in bed for the longest time wondering, why am I not tired? Why am I not tired? Like, why can I not go to sleep? I really couldn't go to sleep. And it was irritating me because I was laying in bed. I had nothing to do. My phone was dead. I was like, I just want to go to sleep.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm like, I could just I don't know how to explain it. You might know because you're a poet, but like there was just like feeling like this heavy feeling in my chest. It's like, let me out, let me out.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
it didn't stop until I got my book and started writing. And then all of a sudden I was like, ah, all
Come
right.
on, come on, come on! Like you're saying it. I mean, it really is a poetry is one of those things where unless you get it out, unless you write, unless you put pen to paper, you know, um, you won't rest. You
Right.
know, you won't rest. You can't rest. You know, Sade, she's in here, and she's a writer. I think she just finished her second book. Now, Sade, we're talking about poetry, so I'm not sure if you write poetry, but if you want to, you could jump in here too. We about to start sharing poetry,
Oh,
but
she said fact. She knows. She knows.
she knows. She knows. That's what I'm saying. Like she gets it, and again, you know, as a poet, oftentimes you really can't say something with normal words. You have to like you said, go in that space, whatever it is, right? So it's either
Mm-hmm.
the bed or it's the closet. It may be sitting on the toilet. You know, like like
Right,
like
right.
come on, hey, come on. Like, it hits you at any point. Like literally, you know, poetry hits you. It can hit you anywhere. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a car shop and it hits me while I'm at the car shop, or you know, you just have this heavy burden on your soul, and it's just like it won't go away unless you write.
Right.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. So to hear that that's what inspired you getting over your writer's block, that right there is just, you know, beautiful. It is really beautiful. Again, looking at Sade, she said I write children's stories. Like going back to that
Love
saying,
that.
yeah, she does. You got to check her out. Wait, are
Oh, I think I saw you post something about her in the art group.
I'm pretty sure I did. Because again, her art and everything is just unique. But are you in my books club? Are you in my books group? I'm sorry, my Facebook books group.
No.
You got to get over there. Yeah, you got to get. I know that's not really poetry, but she's still there, and I guess in some sense you can say that's like you know writing books. I guess in some sense, but
I
yeah,
mean,
her
I know about poetry books.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so definitely get in there. Get in, you know, the public group, and she's in there too. She writes a bunch of books as well. Again, this is some of her books here. Like, yeah, Love Made a Family. She actually sent me a book. I actually have her
I
book.
did see you post that.
But you
I
saw
did
that.
see you post about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. She sent me a book and everything. So, I mean, just truly amazing people out there that can that literally can't hold their gifts in, but instead they share it. You know, and whether it's in the form of children books, it's in the form of, you know, poetry. I know a lot of poets, some poets are, you know, more sexual, more sensual, more, you know,
Mhm.
some poets are more romantic. You have poets who are family oriented. Like it just it's about sharing your gifts. I think
Mhm.
that's poetry. Not holding in the medicine, the antidote that you have in words that other people need to hear.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sade. I see it. I see you.
Mm-hmm. My first. I'm so glad you can read these. Like you, so you can see all the comments. You can see everything.
Yeah, I can see everything.
Let's go, y'all. We are on Zoom right now. So I'm recording on Zoom. That's pretty much what I do. As y'all know, Sade and I think Marion was actually in here at one point. And then but also I'm airplaying my phone up on the Zoom. So Elena is in here and she can actually see you all's comments. So if you got anything you want to say to Elena, any questions, definitely shoot them out, man. We are here. But we're gonna be doing a poetry night. This is our poetry night. We're gonna be doing this up until 8. I didn't have my fitness group I have to go into. Um, she said, I love a woman that go hard in their gifts that God bless us with. Let's go. There she go. She's shouting you out. She's shouting
Thank you.
you out.
That's so sweet. I love that. I love that.
I love, man. I love Sade.
Women empowerment, and I love women supporting women. I love it.
Let's go. Let's go. There you go, Sade. I hope you feeling that love too. Because it's coming straight to you. But we have to. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. She said she feeling it. But we're gonna drop a few poems, man. Again, I have to get off at 8 because I have another group. But we didn't do this yesterday. So Elena, I wanted to do this, and then going live is another new thing that I'm doing with it. So let's get it started, Elena. Let's get it started. I think we'll definitely start off with you. If you want to, you know, you kind of know how we do it. If you want to kind of go into the story of why you wrote this, you can do it before or after, however you feel, and then we can popcorn it to me, back to you, and we can just keep going from there. So if you ready, we ready to hear it.
Right. Okay, okay.
You ready to hear it. That good night moon got me. That good night moon. Like just the wording of that. Come on, Elena.
I can read that one if you want me to. I mean, you already posted, but
No, you can go ahead. Like you can read whatever you want to, but as many as you want, please. super dope. How you gonna tell a moon good night? Like, that is so dope.
Okay. So there's this one I wrote, and it's for my firstborn son who was adopted. It was a really hard situation, but I still love him. I still think of him all the time. He's my firstborn, so you know that I'm always going to hold a big place in my heart for him, and hope one day that we reunite.
Absolutely.
So this one's called Moonlight. Yeah, I'm a little obsessed with moons and stars and stuff, so as you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely, ain't no wrong with it. Yeah.
Okay. My love for you will never die. Each year without you is harder than the last. I can't help but break down and cry. If only I could change the past. I'd still have you by my side. I'd hold you close and never let go. I never thought they'd stoop so low, but my love for you will never die. And if you ever want to find me, just look into the night sky, and you will see I'll always be with you in the stars. I'll be your moon in the dark. I hope you know I'm never too far. So come find me when you're ready, because my love for you will never die. My arms are wide open. My heart left the door unlocked. So come home when you feel is right. Until then, look for me in the moonlight.
And I don't even know if you're reading the comments, but I knew this about Sade. But what you just do you see what she just said there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. 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 Exact. It's so funny. Like, now that y'all just said that, I know that poem hit her. Yep. Because she literally was adopted as well as a kid. And I know your story too. I know about your son and stuff. And so, can you just expound a little bit more on that? Like, on what gave you the courage to write that? Because I know you have your moments. I understand that. What gave you the
Yeah.
courage to write that? Put pen and paper on with that.
First, I want to say thank you, Sade.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I write about him a lot. And I think it's because it's like the only time I feel safe enough to talk about him and be honest with my feelings about him, because not a lot of people understand why I did what I did, like why I gave him up for adoption if I didn't want to. Like I freshly turned 18, so it was, and I had a lot of mental health issues growing up. And I was kind of alone. I was away from my family. I really didn't have a choice. It was kind of either, in my head, it was a life or death kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like, you either die staying with this family and trying to be a family in a family that kind of took away the rest of your life from you, or choose to live and be separated from the one thing that family was holding over you that gave you life, which was my son. And so not a lot of people understand, like, if I try to talk about him, a lot of people have put me down in the past, like, well, that was your choice to give him up, or you didn't have to sign those papers, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I didn't know what else to do. I was, again, freshly 18, battling depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
I had my first panic attack at that time. It was really hard. So I don't feel safe or comfortable talking about him all the time to people, because I don't think they really understand, or people will try to hit me with the, oh, well, you'll see him soon. But at the same time, like, not the same as just letting me talk, you know? So, and I don't always know how to say things. I don't always know how to express how I feel for him. So it's like, as a poet, you know, that's how I know how to best describe my feelings. Like, I can show with actions, but when it comes to words, it's better when I write it on paper, or when I get it out onto something else.
Absolutely. I, do you think that you would ever share these poems with him?
Oh yeah. I honestly, one of my dreams is to publish my poetry, and I want one book to be just all the poems that I've ever wrote him. Or
Mm, mm. Wow, that's beautiful, man. Like I said, this is why we do what we do. If you want to take a moment, you can respond to some of the comments. If you want to, it looks like Sade showing you a lot of love here. You too. Don't blame yourself, sis. God knows your heart. She's so beautiful. I had suffered from mental health, always from trauma. God restores mental health. You should, man. We got
yes.
Marquita in here too. Marquita, what's going on, Marquita? Yep. They all support. They just pouring love out on you. Dang.
Thank you, thank you,
I
thank you.
love this. I feel like I ain't even here. I ain't get no love. No, 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 I love this. Keep pouring love out on y'all. This is so dope. They're resonating with you. That's dope. And remember that 9-year-old I showed you on YouTube. I posted
Right.
like you, Elena. You got to start posting more. They they need your stuff. I'm serious. Like your words seem to be a like a healing potion. It seems to be like a just a sense of restoration. It really is.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Absolutely.
That's I'm honestly, as the whole reason I want to publish my poetry is for that reason, because I
Mm-hmm.
know that I needed the poems that I read growing up that helped me get through my trauma and what I went through. So I know that maybe somewhere out there someone needs to hear what I've written to know that, look, I'm still here and now I'm this author of this book that you
Come on.
bought, that
Mm.
shows you
Yep.
that you can do anything even after all the shit life dealt you.
Mm-hmm.
The cards you were dealt in life. It's still possible.
Mm-hmm. It's good, man. This is so good. All right. So you just went. Elena just shared her poem. Now I'm gonna
Thank
go
you.
into. No, go ahead, Elena. I'm sorry.
I just want to say thank you, Sade, for that. It's always nice to have reassurance when people say like you don't have to explain yourself, because I grew up on needing to always explain myself.
Mm,
And if I wasn't able to explain myself, it was, well, then there's no explanation needed from you. Either I had to
mm,
explain myself or they didn't want to hear it because, it didn't matter, because they had already painted a picture of me in their mind that it wasn't going to matter what I said. So I love that reassurance. So thank you so much.
mm, mm. Man. Hey, Sade, man. I'm telling you, this is just dope, man. Look, do you see why I opened up the live? Like, this is
Yeah.
dope. This is super dope, man. Like, oh my goodness, man. Isaac gonna love this. When Isaac hop back in, he's gonna love this. All right. So the title of mine again, I decided to reread this one. I've shared it before, but Elena, again, yesterday your words really resonated with me. Just a little backstory before I read this, just for everybody on live and you, Elena, as well. As my brand is growing, you know, I kind of, there's moments where when it grows, and I know I had told you this as well, Elena, and that was I sometimes fear success. People
Yeah.
fear people fear failure. People are afraid to fail, but I don't think a lot of people talk about the fear of success.
It's not talked about a lot, no.
It's not talked about.
Because why would you be afraid to succeed? But I know that feeling though. I honestly know that feeling. So when you say it, like, it's not a surprise to me, because I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. And I see it in you. Like even with you, like you're a prime example of that. I remember when we first started off, when you first got inside my fitness group, and you kind of told your story, told what happened, and you started sharing and opening up to me. I think you even opened up to the recording. You were talking about what happened to you, all of that.
Hmm.
In the first poetry group, you opened up and described what happened to you and all that stuff. I saw you breaking your show. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? All and you kind of speak on it, how you had people around you, whether it was family or whatever, that would kind of make you feel like you were not capable. And they were
Hmm.
trying to, I think in some sense, they probably saw the potential. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So they wanted to instill the fear. It's like, nah, we can't let her think that she's what she could be. We see this dope soul. We see this dope vibe she has, and we know what she could be, but we got to make sure she feels like crap.